And I hope we stay up this time. We've been having some technical difficulties, so I do apologize. But I wanted you to think about this, and I already told you what some of what is going to be on my blog is on my blog. So I know you'll, read it and whatnot. But here's what I want to know. Have you ever been called an ugly black bitch? I know I have by white men who we're going to talk about today, even though they will never say it. Well, some will, if they're, what do they call those people? Skinheads, KKK. Some will say it. And the majority of the white men, if they don't say it, they believe it. Now, let me tell you how I know this, and I want you to talk to me. Excuse me while I'm talking to you. Make sure you and I read my blog together at pussyandpolitics.com. Go there, and you can even follow along, okay, while I'm talking. So here's what I want to know. When you think you get called an ugly black bitch, how do you respond? Or do you even think they call you that at all? Well, here's what I think. Let me tell you what happened to me. And I wonder if you have a similar experience. I was going from Roosevelt, just walking down the street under a scaffolding, those things that you can go into and come out of when there's building construction going on. So I'm walking with my book bag. I'm chilling, coming from school. And I see these lawyers who I know them and they know me. So as we were walking, I thought they were going to move over and make some space, but they didn't. They expected me to step off into the gutter. Now, I don't know if you lived in Chicago before, but that's what's expected of black women, that you step off into the gutter. So, what do you think? Especially if you're married to a white man, what do you think? Do you actually think that he never called you a nigger? Did he ever called you an ugly black bitch? Especially when you all had, got into some kind of confrontation, which every black couple is going to do if you live in America. I mean, interracial, as they say it. They used to call it mixed. And it gets me really hot under the collar because a lot of black women think about themselves like the white men do. And that's because it's been perpetrated on TV. What do you think? What do you see when you go to television? You see a lot of black women and they say, bitch, please. Well, I'm guilty. I've said it and you've said it too, unless you say you don't cuss. But really, who do you think was behind that reality based shows? It was white men. They were sitting there in their offices thinking about all of the ugly black bitches that they could exploit. But then when the reality show came into existence, what do you think? They made some of them look pretty decent, especially on the first show, because, they normally didn't get the glam squad into the second show. So they tried to pick as many great looking black women as they could decipher. Now it's become long eyelashes, hair down to your feet. That's what white men and some blacks think that black women should be portrayed as. So what do you think about that? Go to pussyandpolitics.com and let me know. Let me know what you think of yourself. Let me know what you answer to, because somebody can call you something, but that doesn't mean you have to answer to it, does it? So think about that. And think about our black young women, what they think. As you know, this show is raw. So let me tell you, if you're kind of not wanting to hear me, and if you don't like what I'm saying, feel free to go watch MSNBC or something. But right now you're live with Fabulous. So I'm talking to the black women specifically. We'll get to the black men later. Do you really think white men want you? Have you ever been around a circle of white men? I got into an elevator once and the guys were talking. And when I stepped on the elevator, they all stopped and looked at me like I was some kind of crazy person from another planet. But that was because I have certain characteristics. I have butt. So when you go on Pussy in Politics, you'll find a very interesting story about a lady who those white people put on display because she had a big booty. So let's go back to white men. You know what they think? I wonder if you'll find one that's, willing enough to say it. But you get into an argument, they're thinking, you black bitch, you ugly black bitch. When you go to work and you have a disagreement with one of the white guys, that's what they think. When you're walking hand in hand down Lakeshore Drive with some champagne and getting ready to sit on that beach with that white man, what does he call you? What? Seriously. What do you think he calls you? Do you think he means darling, dear heart, my love? What he's thinking about, if you're in the right part of town that he can be seen with, because he's not taking you around his friends, girl. You know that. But every time a white man thinks about a black woman, he thinks about what he's been taught, right? What did they teach him? Mammy. And what did his parents, the people like from 1940, 60, what did they think about black people? And do you think he forgot? Especially about black women. Now remember, what do they call us? The slave masters, wenches. And then they called us some other stuff. And have they changed? In your opinion, what do you think? I've got some really interesting answers, like, you shouldn't say those kind of things, Faye, because things have changed. Really? Is that why I was asked to go into the gutter? Because things had changed? Let me give you another experience. I'm going down Michigan Avenue, minding my own business. And this white guy comes toward me, and he sees me, I see him. Of course, we were supposed to give a little leeway. He didn't, I didn't. So we got about this close before he decided to go around me. And you know why I did it? Because that's what he expected me to do. Look around you, girls. Do you actually think white men respect black women? Look at the TV. Let me think of the names of those shows. I like Atlanta Housewives. What are some other ones, Cookies? Reality show. Love. I love me some love and hip hop, but those are the most craziest. Now, that's not the right word. Those are the most ridiculous ideas that those white men sitting behind the camera came up with. Now, my kudos to the girls, because they making those coins. I like that. But the real money. And I think there was another one that
Love New York. I'm sorry.
Oh, that was another story. I Love New York was one of the first ones. And, I can't say enough about that. But now they've got the Black Bachelor. I think the name of it is Heaven Can Wait. But those white men sat behind there and said, we can make money. We're going to bring a nice looking black men in here and have these 15 women clamor over them like they're desperate. So not only do they think you're an ugly black bitch, they think you're a desperate, ugly black bitch. And you may be fabulous like me. You might be fabulous like the women you see on pussyandpolitics.com. But that's a mindset. You think they've gotten rid of it? It hasn't even been, 50 years since the civil rights movement, when, they did whatever they did to black women, disrespected us. We were working in their houses. They had the opportunity to call us what they've been calling us all along, what they still do. But I want you to understand it's behind your back. And like I said once before, I think if you're married to a white man, don't think he hasn't called you that. Let's be real. We grew up in America. Black women call each other bitches, so why wouldn't he? Only he uses the ugly black woman type of thing. So here's my question to you. I need you to join me in this conversation at Pussy in Politics, because I really want to hear your opinion about what you think about you, or better yet, what you will answer to. Because at the end, that's all that matters, what you're going to answer to. So do me a favor, be aware and think, do your research, because I always say that. You can go in there and think and research about what they called us, and better yet, what they call us today. And better yet, think about this. Who's behind? Who's getting paid for suggesting that black men call women bitches? Somebody gets paid for that, right? Like the record company. Do you know how much they make? You know how little they make? Answer all those questions for me, because I'm really interested in knowing what you think. I don't have the same opinion as everybody else, but Pussy in Politics is all about getting heard. I like unique opinions because I have one. I'd like to hear from the ladies, because you know what you've been called. Have you dated a white man? Have you seen his response sometime when you go around his friends? Does he hold you close like he did when you were at home in the bed? Well, then that should give you an answer. So, what I want to say to you black women is, like me, fabulous, fabulous. That's my name, fabulous, fabulous, because I am. Think about what they call you and what you answer to. Do some research and really figure out what the hell's going on, because guess what? They're thinking of us no differently. And I've said that 1,000 times, but do you know it? Or are you out of touch like those reality shows want you to be? Because let's face it, and I know I may sound serious today, but I do. I am, because I care about our black women, how we're perceived. And we have to know how we're perceived. I get a lot of information from watching YouTube about the black girls that are shaking, the ass that God gave us. And I think I saw this one girl that was teaching her baby how to twerk. Now hear me and understand me, baby. You don't need to do that, because that's what the white man wants you to implant in your child's head. And he's getting paid for it, because you're on YouTube getting 10,000 and 50 million hits. But what are you doing to your daughter? So think about that. It's not what they call you, it's what you answer to. You're not an ugly black bitch, but that's what they call you. So go to www.pussyinpolitics.com and you will see what I'm talking about. You'll be able to make your comments. And we're going to have another show based on what you say. So I need your feedback, because some of you like being called ugly black bitches. I don't. But if you do, I want to know about it. So thank you for joining us. I'll talk to you very, very, very soon, because we've got some things to go over that you won't believe. That's another thing I want, is what do you think we should talk about? Because we talk about relevant issues, things that people won't say, but Fabulous will say it. So until next time, I will holler. I've got work to do. Bye.